Hey, Brian Beckham here at VB Attorneys. I have had many instances in my life where I was afraid. I can go back to my high school sports career where I was playing in front of thousands of people. We had a very good basketball team, made state finals when I was a junior, and I had opportunity to play a couple times in front of tens of thousands of people. And I got to tell you, I was scared, absolutely shitless going out into those games. I was scared when I got into Corps Cadets and I saw all these upperclassmen and what they might do to me. I was scared in law school, frankly. Many times I was scared when the teachers would call upon me in front of hundreds of students and they'd ask me questions, and I was afraid that I would look like an idiot. I'm afraid before every single time I go to trial. I'm nervous. I'm agitated. I'm worried, frankly, and I'm afraid when I give speeches in public. I get nervous, and so I've had to learn how to deal with fear throughout my whole life, and I know a lot of people have too. And for people that don't get scared, well, I don't know what to say about that other than if you don't ever get scared about anything, you probably got a screw loose. So for all the people that don't have screws loose, to get nervous before performing in any sort of event, whether it's a professional event, a personal event, an athletic event, a musical event, anything like that, how do you deal with fear? There's a couple ways that I've found to deal with fear that have been helpful to me, and I think may be helpful to you as well. One way that I've learned recently is to reframe it in your mind. Fear is just excitement in another form. If you really examine the emotions you're feeling, what's coursing through your body when you're afraid, what's happening there? Well, from a physiological standpoint, what's happening is your body is producing a lot of chemicals, a lot of hormones, basically a kind of a flight or fight response that enables you to prepare yourself essentially for battle. We've evolved over thousands and thousands of years to protect ourselves when we're afraid, to sense danger. And so oftentimes nowadays in the modern society, you're not worried about a lion coming down and eating you or something like that. But we have chronic stress and chronic fear. We're afraid about all sorts of different things. And what you'll find is if when you examine the emotions that you're feeling, when you're afraid of something, like for instance, when I'm going to trial, when I'm going to go in front of 12 random strangers with very good defense lawyers and big companies, and I've got a human being there that if I lose his case or her case, it's going to be a big deal to them. I get these feelings of, it's almost excitement. Sometimes I used to think of it as fear, but really what it is it's excitement. I get all this energy, it's kind of hard to calm down and so forth. So one way to deal with fear I found that's very helpful is instead of thinking about it as being afraid, think about it as being excited, because it is the exact same emotions, excitement and fear. There's no difference if you examine it closely. The other thing I've learned that works is you got to remember that literally everybody other than the people that are crazy or have screws loose experiences fear. So fear is completely and totally normal, and you got to remind yourself when you're worried about something or when you're experiencing fear that those kind of emotions are completely and totally normal. If you didn't have them, you would be weird. And that the a difference between winners and losers is winners confront their fears. It's not that they don't have any fears. People that don't have any fears are nuts. People that have fears and overcome them and confront them directly, those are the people that are truly courageous. Those are the people that truly have that winner's mentality. And then the last thing I'll say on the fear issue is it's perfectly acceptable to be afraid. You can't get mad at yourself. I used to get mad at myself and say, man, why am I still afraid? I'm board certified in personal injury trial law. I've tried more cases than I can remember. Why do I still get nervous? Why do I still get afraid before I enter the arena? And the simple answer to the question is, it's because I care. And if you care about what you do, if you want to do a good job, if you want to succeed, you're going to have these negative emotions to deal with. They're not going to go away. And the worst possible thing you can do is kind of try to stuff them down there, because the more you try to stuff these negative emotions away, the more they work on your subconscious. So confront your fear directly. Don't try to shove it away, and understand that fear is perfectly normal. It's perfectly acceptable. And the difference between winners and losers is winners face their fears directly.